Good noon or good day, whatever. It's not quite noon, I guess. It's a few minutes before, but hope you can join me today for Midweek Musings here at Trinity Heights United Methodist Church. I'm Kent Little, Senior Pastor. It's always good to have you join me on these Wednesdays, midday, and midweek. So anyway, whether you join me live in this moment or whether you find this video later on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, so I invite you to do that as well. So it's good to be back with you on this. Supposed to be a pretty decent day today, I think. Looked at the weather this morning. I think it's supposed to be in the 70s. Excuse me, which is pretty nice for springtime. So a little chilly in the mornings, but that's to be expected. So we're getting closer to Easter as we move through this Lenten season. Today is kind of a normal day for Trinity Heights. We have my Theology Matters class at 4:30. And then our welcome on Wednesday, our wow, we'll have our meal at 5:30, which I believe, if I read right, I think we're having sloppy joes tonight, and potatoes, and I'm sure there'll be salad, etc. Anyway, it's always a great meal, a great time. Stephanie's a great cook, and she works really hard at that, so hope you can take that in. And then our children's programming, if we have any kids show up, and then of course choir practice at 6:30. So anyway, it's just a pretty normal day. I've been busy getting emails sent out to people I need to contact about different things, so I've been busy on the computer this morning, but just pretty much normal busy, if you will. And so anyway, so then this coming Sunday is Palm Sunday, and so we'll have our palms, and we'll talk about Jesus, what traditionally we call his triumphal entry into Jerusalem, riding on the foal of a donkey, we're told. And so we're gonna maybe look at that story from a little different perspective, maybe than we've been, or at least than I've been used to. And especially focusing on the imagery, the metaphorical imagery that we see in this story about Jesus coming in to the city riding on a donkey, and the crowds waving palm branches and laying their cloaks down on the road for him to come in, symbolizing royalty, etc. But there's an interesting historical thing that some of us may not be familiar with. It oftentimes at that same time of year in Jerusalem, there was also, as they prepared for Passover, there was also another procession that happened on the other side of the city. It comes, I get this information out of a book called The Last Week, written by theologian and authors Marcus Borg and John Dominic Crossan. And they talk about the other procession is a procession from the Roman Empire. It's a show of strength, it's a show of might, it's a show of political power, oppressive power. It is a procession that is intended to promote fear, that you don't challenge the empire. And in some respect, they say that Jesus' procession, Jesus' entry is rather a counter-protest, if you will, a protest rally, to say no fear and oppression and the abuse of power and empire are not the way. Jesus utilizes the foal of a donkey as opposed to a mighty steed. He comes riding in and as a symbol of peace. But I think there's some there may be some important imagery around this foal of a donkey, this colt of a donkey, that I think that is worth thinking about. And my wondering, if you will, my pondering comes from a comment from a friend of mine that when I was at a different church, serving a different church, and he used to tell me every Palm Sunday, he would say, "When are you going to preach on the real miracle of Palm Sunday?" And I would always say, "Well, what's that?" And he'd say, "Well, the fact that Jesus rode on a donkey that had never been ridden before. That was it. That was the miracle." Anyway, so we'd always have a chuckle about it. But as I've pondered that, I think there could be some profound imagery there that is worth some thought and some consideration. So this coming Sunday, we're going to deal with Palm Sunday. We're going to talk about all of the imagery, all of the symbolism that moment carried with it, that Jesus carried with him into that moment. And I'm going to focus on the donkey. So the title of my sermon is "Believing According to Donkey." So we're gonna talk about the donkey. What does that donkey have to teach us? Not only in the imagery and the story of Jesus' day, but what does the donkey have to teach us today, in here and now, on April 13th, 2025 at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning? I think there's some things that are worth consideration. So anyway, I hope you can join us Sunday, 10 o'clock, either in person or online in the sanctuary, or join us at our 11:15 service in the fellowship hall. We'd love to have you, and I think it'll be. I don't have my sermon written yet, but I have lots of ideas, and so we'll see where the Spirit leads us. So in that conversation, so hope you can be here with us on Easter. And of course, then next week, and I'll talk a little bit about that next Wednesday too. But next week, of course, is Holy Week. Then here at Trinity Heights, we will have a Maundy Thursday service. As a part of that service, we're going to have a potluck dinner. In the tradition of, in the sense of, the story of Maundy Thursday is the story of the Jesus and his disciples gathering for the Passover meal. No, we're not going to have a Passover meal, but we're going to have a meal, because that was important. It was important in Jesus' day. It's important in our day, and so that's going to be the context that we're going to gather on Thursday at 6 o'clock. We are going to have a potluck dinner in the fellowship hall, and that's where we'll have our service as well. So, and the importance of the meal and what that means, and how Jesus used that to draw not only the disciples together, but continues to draw us together around the table. And then we'll also have Good Friday service, Good Friday at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a little different maybe than we've experienced before. I wrote a script for a Good Friday service, and basically I used the Gospel of Mark to do this, and basically wrote an account of not just Jesus' death, which is often what we focus on Good Friday, but it's the whole of his life and ministry that we have according to the Gospel of Mark, remembering his ministry, his preaching, his teaching, his healing, his challenging, his passion for justice and mercy, and then of course, yes, his arrest and his death. And so it's a little different take on the Good Friday service maybe that you're used to, or that we're used to in general. But hope you can take that in as well. And then of course on Sunday the 20th is our Easter service, our resurrection service, where we'll have just one service on that Sunday at 10 o'clock in the sanctuary. Afterwards, we'll have an egg hunt for the kids, and so that'll be exciting. So I hope you can bring your little ones and participate not only in the service, in the resurrection service on Easter Sunday, but also in the egg hunt following the service. So anyway, so a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on. Hope you can take it all in, or at least parts of it. So thank you for being here with me this morning. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday on Palm Sunday as we consider what we might learn in our believing according to donkey. Anyway, hope you can join us. It'll be a great Sunday. Thank you for being here. And as we always share here at Trinity Heights, go out in the world and be a light and love one another. Every single other. Until there are no others, only one beloved community of all. May it be so. May it be so. Have a great day. Goodbye, and God bless.